Marty Reed and Jerry Garrett back at the Score Parker 400, and boy, do we have a dandy battle going on in Class 4. That is Steve Kelly out in front in the white Chevrolet. Right behind him, defending class champion Jack Johnson in the Nissan. Look at him, Jerry.
Oh, Steve's making his first start in the class, but he's wasting no time asserting himself. He's obviously learned how to use up all of the road back in his Class 8 days.
Did you see the air that Jack Johnson took trying to go off course just for a second? It cost him about 3 car lengths, but already trying to reel him back in. And look at Steve just kicking the dust up, and Jack's got to find another route.
Yeah, Jack can't see back there in the dust. I mean, that's lights out stuff right there, and he's coming up to a dip right here. He's going to have to back out of the throttle a little bit.
Uh-oh. This is a sad sight for Ivan Stewart fans. That is the Toyota, and listen to it. There is something definitely wrong in the truck, and according to the preliminary reports that we're getting, the clutch has gone out.
Yeah, and here's something going a little faster. That's number 799, the Ford Ranger of Paul and Dave Simon in the four-wheel drive mini truck class.
Right behind him, Jerry McDonald in the 766. Now, McDonald drove the Chevrolet now being driven by Steve Kelly. Back inside again with the Budweiser Nissan and the Bosch in-car camera with Roger Mears. He's gotten clear of some more traffic, and his only real problem at the moment is the continuing glare of the morning sun. Boy, look at that, going downhill and flying.
The truck's running real well for him right now.
719, the Motorcraft Ford Ranger of Manny Oscara. And as we mentioned, Manny's 4-year reign as class champion ended last season, but he's determined to start a new string this year. He's never really gotten or wanted a lot of publicity for his success. So to learn a little bit more about the man, we spent a day with him recently. Parker is one of those towns where everybody knows everyone else, and Manny Oscara is just another neighbor. Born here 45 years ago, Manny starts each day at the family's restaurant, Los Arcos. In the kitchen, he can handle a knife as skillfully as he handles a steering wheel. And business is so good that if he had to choose between the restaurant and racing,
I think I'd have to stay with the restaurant. I enjoy it here, although I do like the racing too, but you know, that's only for so long, and you got to stay with what you're going to have for your life, you know, and I think the restaurant's what would be my choice.
You quickly learn Manny Oscara is a man devoted to the work ethic. From the restaurant, it's on to the family's 250-acre farm, where he plows the field.
We come from the reservation, and I mean, we struggled, and we got as far as we could. Then they separated, and then my sister more or less took us over, and we struggled, but we made it, and I think we're pretty successful at it now.
For all of his strengths, Manny has one fear: horses.
I was always deathly afraid of them. I don't know why. It's just something in me that always scared me. Every time I came close to them, I started shaking and just literally did not want to be by them. My uncles insisted, no, you're a cowboy. You're one of us. You're one of the Oscaras. You're part of the Romos. And they'd always take me right up to the horse, and there I was shaking, and they'd make me touch it and pet it, and oh, it was just miserable for me. I never did like it.
Fortunately, with over 10 class titles and 40 victories in 13 years, Manny does not have to worry about becoming a cowboy.
I think we need this tire because of the rocks. The rocks over there are growing because of the course being used so much. But over here, we got power lines that have been graded. It's like a freeway. The only thing that's rough is the wash and the side hill. And the side hill, I mean, it's so rough that you're only going to go so fast.
But as this season begins, Manny Oscara is without one of his key players. His sister Dolores, the woman who helped raise him and sponsored his first race car, died this past year from asthma. Manny called her the best co-driver he ever had.
My sister always seemed like was the best. Anytime the traffic behind us, she was watching out for it. When I needed something, she knew it before I needed it, and was always ready for me. And just a whole bunch better than my brother Tootie and Ralph.
Manny's plan is simple. He has dedicated this year's Parker 400 to Dolores. There is no arrogance when he says his team will win today. A very close-knit family, as you can tell, and our thanks to Manny Oscara for sharing a day with us. And boy, I'll tell you, the way he is eating up traffic right now, he is on his way to keeping his promise.
We got to tell you that Manny, too, suffers from asthma, and he has a tough time out there with the dust.
He said, you know, what's interesting is we look at trouble for Walker Evans, just to get back to that for a second, he says it's when he relaxes that he has the most problems. Well, flat tire right now for Walker Evans, but maybe even more problems. We'll check on that in a little bit. 102, James Barbeau out of Las Vegas. That is a VW-powered race car as we're getting back closer to the finish of the California Loop for some of our front runners. And here's another look at Dave Schaap, who's already gone farther than he did here a year ago when suspension problems sidelined him after only 10 miles, Jerry.
Well, all this attrition we've been showing you has helped him move up, and I think we have him leading the class unofficially right now at this time, so he's having a good run so far today.
Notice those 2 tires on the back. That means no flats as of now either.
Well, you can add Bob Gordon to the list of those with early problems, and they're working on the CV joint back there at the right rear of the buggy, so I think that he's probably out for the day.
And then bad news for the Gordon family because, as we see, Dave Schaap is just sailing along in Class 8, which means bad news for son Robbie. Watching the truck, it's obvious there has been great improvement since last year.
Well, Dave actually parked the truck last year. He was so fed up with it. He went out and got his old truck, drove it to a win in the Gold Coast 300, and then spent the rest of the season trying to sort this new one out again.
And there goes James Barbeau through the crowd of spectators that have stayed around to watch the finish of the California lap. And right behind him is Dave Schaap, who is the leader after the California Loop here at the Score Parker 400. And as Dave heads for the Arizona side, that's where we'll be when we come back to the 16th annual Score Parker 400.